What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence, all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, the host of the Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast, and I want to personally invite you to be a featured guest on our show. Our show is all about motivating you, sharing knowledge, having uplifting conversations centered around business, wellness, education, and life. We introduce you to some of the most amazing standout entrepreneurs and influencers that are truly making a positive impact in the world. It is your time to shine, and we are helping you do that. So what I want you to do is just click the link in the description below so that you can be a featured guest on our show. Because guess what? It's time for you to come share, shine, and grow, but on the Tina Ramsey Show. Hello, everybody. And I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, and welcome to the Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast. And we're so excited to be here with you on today because we have yet another amazing special featured guest. When you think of the words impactful, advocate, warrior, these are the words that describes today's featured guest. She is a woman that is on a mission to help businesses and entrepreneurs really get to their full potential. And let me tell you just a little bit about Dr. Lydie. Dr. Lydie is not only a trailblazer in her field, but she is shaping the landscape of corporate America in the executive realm, as also with small to medium-sized businesses. And she even have taken her message all the way to the United Nations. She has a background being a former Wall Street advisor and financial regulator. Dr. Lydie brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. She also has a global influence. I really appreciate her so much, and I am so excited to have her on to the show today because we are going to be speaking to you about how you can help your business thrive and grow from now and beyond. So without further ado, let's bring on Dr. Lydie, Ph.D., or I should say Esquire Ph.D. Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Tina. I love it when we get together. Can I just say that as the first priority for me to share? Because your beautiful spirit and energy just activates me to share more, do more, and make sure that everyone is well taken care of. So thank you for having me on the show. We've been planning this for a minute.
Oh, yes. So I'm so happy that finally both of our schedules align so that we can speak about these, this timely topic, because we see how the world is today. And I feel that what you have to say and your expertise is certainly essential and valuable right now in the now we're living in. So when I think about you, Dr. Lydie, and your wealth of knowledge, you have like 24 years of experience as a New York City business lawyer and federal regulator. I would like for you to share with our audience here at the Tina Ramsey Show about maybe about the 7 things or the seven biggest things that you see small businesses experience.
Yeah, thank you for that. There are a lot of things that small businesses experience, and I boiled it down to 7 because I find that these are the 7 that no matter how much you want to have a successful business, if you don't address them, it never really happens on the scale, right, that you would love it to happen, on the scale that there's constant money flow, on the scale that you don't feel a sense of scarcity, right, that there's not enough, on a scale that this is a family business now, right, that your children can inherit it, on the scale that people value you, not what you're selling or not what you're providing, but you as a person. So over the years, what I've sort of collected and tested as the 7 biggest, the first one is, and all of you know these things, these are not going to be surprising, it's just how we're going to apply them. And I'll share a few things as we go on with regard to the application of the answers to these questions. So the first is the lack of money, right? We know it, we feel it, we don't talk about it, right? We feel some sort of shame that we don't have enough money to really build our businesses out. And oftentimes we feel a sense of shame about that. The second one is lack of time, right? We're busy building the business, but we're not really, when you look at the math, how many hours you're really spending on your business every day, every week, right? Every month. Like Dr. Tina, I have a pretty good idea of how many hours you spend on the network, right? It is a lot. And sometimes we don't recognize how much that we're not spending in terms of time on the business. The third major problem I've seen is that, and this is for me in particular, guys, so don't think I'm any better off than you guys. I am not. I'm probably the worst at this one in particular, is that we really don't have a good, solid web social media presence, right? That we may have a website, but it doesn't really draw folks. We don't know how to do that. I mean, having a podcast on CTR Media Network solves a lot of that, right? In terms of presence, you give people presence. But the bulk of folks that are not doing a podcast or not on a network like CTR Media that pushes the content out on behalf of the podcasters, no one finds us. Right? People aren't looking for us. They're looking for the problems that we're solving or could solve for them. And that's not what our social media, myself included, guys, I am not by any means any better off on this than you guys. But when we look at the list, that is the list, that we're not present in the web social media platforms. Number 4 is when you look at the numbers, most entrepreneurs, vast majority, really have less than 10 clients, 10 paying clients. We're not going to count all the freebies, right, that we love to give to folks because we love them, their family, they beg so nicely, right? But we really, really, on average, don't have more than 10 paying clients. That is not enough to really create business income. And the 5th one is, and I'm really bad at this too, guys, I am like a half a step ahead of you on these things, is asking for help. We feel oftentimes a sense of shame, right, to ask for help. And the successful businesses are asking for help all the time. But we feel we're not worthy to ask others to help us. Don't know where it comes from. That's something we need to dig down on a little bit, individually and collectively, but that's a huge thing that impacts your business. Number 6 would be, and this is big for our community, that we don't have business mentorship. There's no one that takes you by the hand and shows you how. Now, being in a community like CTR Media changes that a lot. But still, mentorship is done one by one or in a group setting. But it has to be someone that believes in you, that you can be your best self. So, and we oftentimes don't have that in our life, but we can change that as well. Number 7 is that for women in particular, especially minority women, we are truly lacking, and I'm going to say this because that's what the data shows, right? That we're truly lacking a sense of self-worth, that we are valuable, even though we're trying to build this business and we want to, it's in our heart, it's in our spirit. But deep down, we don't feel that we have enough in our background or in our immediate situations to really have a successful business. So those are the top 7 things that really prevents us from having the business of our dreams, right? And hopefully we can break down some of those things a little bit during our discussion together, so we can make that dream a reality.
I love it. And I love the realistic effect to it, because originally when we talking about the 7 things, I was like, we're gonna have to pull out a dictionary for this, because we're talking to Dr. Lydie. No, Esquire Ph.D. But those are relevant. And as you was saying, those 7 things, from me as a business owner as well, I can see how some of that is reflective. So I can really see how these things will help small to medium-sized businesses thrive. So what we're going to do once we get over some of them tips, because I want us to elaborate a little bit more on each topic so that we can talk a little bit deeper about it, so that our audience can understand this, so they can see the solution. We know the problem now. Now we're going to get some solutions. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a moment with the amazing Dr. Lydie, Esquire Ph.D., helping us get our businesses together. We'll be back in a moment.
Does this resonate with you? Has a company ripped you off in the past? SettleShark is changing how consumers get money back from companies. SettleShark assists consumers during the entire process, from beginning to end. Our process is simple, convenient, affordable, and powerful. You're in control. We are here to help you. Contact us today at www.
Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Does this resonate with you? Has a company ripped you off in the past? SettleShark is changing how consumers get money back from companies. SettleShark assists consumers during the entire process, from beginning to end. Our process is simple, convenient, affordable, and powerful. You're in control. We are here to help you. Contact us today at www.settleshark.com or call 1-888-704-0708.
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with a friend of whom you may ask, the amazing, the phenomenal Dr. Lydie Louis, Esquire, Ph.D., baby. And we're talking about the 7 things that we need to know as business owners. And before the commercial break, she was actually gave us the list of the things that we should be looking at. But I want us to dig a little bit deeper, especially when you spoke about the first one, which was the lack of money to run your business. And that is something that is so common. So could you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I mean, the truth of it is that we are going to self-finance our businesses, right? People are like, oh, go get a loan. They're not going to give them to you, especially now, right? The economy being the way. And even if it wasn't, they ask for so much. And a lot of folks, and family members of mine included, have had credit challenges. And until we fix that, and that's a service that I provide within my law practice, but the credit issue bootstraps us, right? It makes it really hard then to get those loans. But there are a lot of grants the thing is, you got to find someone to write the grant, right? And they're going to take anywhere from 20 to 30% of the money that they bring in. So that doesn't become a really good source of funding. Putting it on the credit card, yes, but if you can't make the income stream, and we'll talk about ways to increase income streams, right, during the show, but don't do it. It becomes, it leads to the credit repair, the credit repair situation. And you can ask family and friends and they'll help a little bit. Many will, but not a whole lot because they've got other things going on too. So the lack of fund becomes a huge problem. So to a large extent, we finance it ourselves with what we're able to do right now, later on, way later. And that's just the reality of any small business owner, by the way. It's not us, it's everybody, unless there's a pool of money that you can access. And I want you to apply for those grants, right? If you can, I want you to ask family members to help. And rather than ask them to help, one cool way of doing it is asking them to invest in the company, which is if you formally structure your company, you can give them 1 shares, 10 shares, 100 shares in your company. That's how big corporations do it, right? They call them stocks. Right? So a share is similar to a stock, except you're a smaller entity, right? So you can have family members, friends, people that love you invest in your company by giving them shares in your company. And when your company really takes off, right, they begin to see the value of having the stock in your company. So the money issue also, we'll talk a little later about how do you bring income to put into your company? What can you do outside of your company to bring that money flow into your company? And Dr. Tina and I will talk about something that we recently discovered that's super amazing that we want to share with you. When it comes to lack of time, this is the way I was taught by some big New York City well-to-do peoples that took, I guess, pity on me and said, let's help this brown girl figure out how to really do this. And I'm forever grateful, by the way, because I don't think I would have learned anything that they taught me somewhere else, right? Every now and then someone comes into our lives unexpectedly and does some amazing stuff for us, and then they're gone. For whatever reason, they leave, they pass away oftentimes, you no longer talk to them, what have you, but they're there for a period of time. So when it comes to lack of time, this is what I was taught, and I share this with you. There are 24 hours in a day. Break them up in thirds. 8 hours of this, 8 hours of that, 8 hours of something else. This is the time in your business is 8 hours minimum a day, right? The number of hours you sleep, 8 hours, right? That's that's energetically. Science has proven it even before science, in the holy texts in our Bible, it says how long we should sleep, 8 hours, because that's when God is able to really infuse us with things while we're sleeping those 8 hours, empower us, elevate us, enrich us is during that 8 hours. So if you're not getting 8 hours, please do start getting 8 hours of sleep so you can receive all that spiritual, glorious knowledge. Then 8 hours of working on your business. Don't forget, not 2, not 1, not 30 minutes, 8 hours, whatever it is you choose to do. Meet with a client, write something up, respond to business emails, doing your social media for the business, not your personal. 8 hours. And the other 8 hours becomes, that's your fun time, I would say, because we need to rejuvenate ourselves. So whether that's working out, talking on the phone, going to lunch, I love to cook, so I cook a lot. So to me, cooking has a rhythm to it that I really enjoy. Listening to music, I sing a little bit every now and then. So I love listening to jazz or spiritual music that really moves me. And that becomes in that 8 hours of fun time. But for growing your business, you have got to spend 8 hours every day unless it's a holy day. God says rest. That's my Saturday. So I won't do the 8 hours then. But as soon as the Sabbath is over, I am so on my business, responding to emails, sending emails, or writing emails, which can take a long time themselves because you want it to be authentic, right? You want what you're saying to resonate with the people that are reading it. And I want to say that when it comes to the fourth one with regard to relying on less than 10 clients that really move your business, this is something we must change. The numbers will not work for you on any level in terms of growth, success, creating a legacy if you don't go beyond 10 successfully paying clients. Not the ones that promise to pay in a couple of weeks or months, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, right? Not the ones that say, here's a partial payment and, I'm good for the rest, right? Those are what I call, when I was a little kid, most people know my story. We were really, really poor. And I mean, like living in shelters poor. So my mom would have a layaway plan with everybody, right? And, and I was like, well, what's a layaway plan? I was a kid and I would go with her and there's the address she'd want to buy. And I forgot the name of the stores now. They're probably all closed down, right? And she would put like $5 and they literally wrap the dress like in a, like a dry cleaning bag, put her name on it, her address. We didn't have cell phones back then. So it was like the house phone. We didn't have a house phone. So she'd make up a number and they would take the dress and they put it way in the back. You see them walk through the door and there was a whole bunch of other layaway stuff, right? And every week you had to pay a couple of dollars, I don't know, $3, $5, $1, whatever she had. And that was the layaway plan. So a lot of us are using what I call the layaway plan for our business, right? Every week, either someone gives us a little bit or we pay a little bit. The problem with the layaway plan for our business is that it takes a really long time for anything to get done because you're laying it away, right? You're not doing it right now. And that becomes a key problem with clients is that if a client can't pay now, we hope and pray they can pay later, but keeping them on and continuing to service them while they're paying on the layaway plan does not result in a successful business for you. So I'm not saying to not be kind. I have several clients that I do as a nonprofit because as a New York City attorney, we're required by law that 20% of what we do should be for people that can't pay us, right? That's the New York City annual requirement for remaining a New York State attorney. So we all do it. One, the state tells us, and you pick what you do. So what I do primarily for my pro bono is I work with businesses and I work with children, right? And the key for the children is to help them to dream the impossible dream. That no matter where, because someone did it for me when I used to live in shelters as a kid, right? To help the kids dream about a business, dream about going on beautiful vacations, dream about going on a yacht cruise, or, they don't see that in their minds. And to bring that possibility to them is huge. Right? They begin to do things that they haven't done before because now they've got a goal of achieving something that no one told them that they could achieve. It's also true for us that we need to dream again. I know a lot of us, myself included, I know how painful disappointment in our life can be. Not just on the business side, which is deep, but on family sides, on relationship sides. And what happens is that negative energy stays with us for a long time. It hurts us emotionally, physically sometimes, right? And we don't feel that there's a place we can turn for help and support where people won't judge us. I think Dr. Tina has built an amazing community of people that you can always reach out to, that will not judge, will listen, will give some advice, will offer you the spiritual reconnection that you need to take the next best step for you. And that's a glorious thing to have, is a group, a community where that can happen, because that doesn't happen all the time. So that's the beauty, truly, of being a part of CTR Media, which I feel blessed to be a part of. And then the fifth thing I had mentioned is really about our challenge in terms of asking for help. And I learned long ago that there should not be shame in doing that, but you feel the shame of asking for help. And I told Dr. Tina that I love to sing, because for me, singing was the only thing I could do when we were living in shelters with my mom that I could do, right? It was the free thing to lift our voices up. For me, was releasing tension, releasing pain, releasing sorrow, releasing hunger, releasing, being cold. And I want to share with you a song that it's a recent song. It's not one that I sang when I was a little girl, but it's one that became really, really popular from the show, The Greatest Showman on Earth, right? And this is about the circus, the Warner Bailey Circus. And one of the songs in the show was sung by the lady who was disappointed that despite being together for so many years and working hard together as a team, that when the owner was being elevated, right, to a higher level in terms of his status in the community, that he literally shut the door on the very people that helped him build his circus. Right? And when he did that to the lady in the show, she cried and walked away and sang this song. And when I heard it, I was like bawling, right? And the song goes a little something like this. And if you remember it, I would love for you to just sing it along with me, because I believe there's power in the words. There's power in our voices. There's power in our energy. And the song begins with, I'm not a stranger to the dark. Run away, they say, 'cause no one wants your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut us down, I'm going to send a flood, I'm going to drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, world, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh. And when I first heard that song, I got to tell you guys, I was so happy. I was like, finally, somebody put into words exactly how I feel, right? Exactly how I feel. And every time I sing it, it brings back pain for me. And I know that for you guys, there are a lot of things that bring pain to you. And this is what I want to remind you. Don't run from that pain. Don't feel that. Don't feel that your pain should not be expressed. Don't feel that you have to hide from your pain. That is the worst thing. If you're feeling the pain, and even now I'm sniffling, right? Because it reminds me of when I had less than nothing, right? It reminds me of my mom who's passed away many, many years ago. And I wonder how much she hurt because she couldn't provide for me what her parents were able to provide for her. And I think most parents and business owners may feel the same thing, that life has been so hard. Their businesses aren't working. What am I going to leave for my children, my grandchildren? Where do I get precious things from to leave them with? I'm so busy working on this business to just have it survive that I'm not really building something of value for them. And Dr. Tina and I recently had a discussion about this, and we're going to share something with you that'll change, that I believe will change that life for you, that life where you don't have enough, that life where you're worried about your legacy of what did you build while you were here, right? What have you left for the ones that you love while you were here? And I tell folks, tomorrow's not promised to us. Some of us will go to sleep and never wake up. Some of us could be crossing a street and some JoJo jumped the light and hit us. Some of us could be waiting for someone to come and save us or help us, and that person never shows up. And the truth of it is, we have to do it. God requires action from us. And oftentimes we feel that we can't do that action for whatever reason. But the truth of it is, if you don't, then who will?
That's powerful.
And I've lived my life that way, Dr. Tina, expecting, I'm glad when help shows up, but I also have to rely on the fact that nobody's going to show up. Right? And if nobody shows up, what do I do? What have I put together? Who can I call on? What can I reach down into? What can I access? Right? That I'm not back in a shelter, that I'm not desperate to prevent, that I fear that I can't make the car note, that I have bread and milk and maybe an egg in the fridge, right? That there are things in terms of our money mindset, that we have to redirect to be consistently working on that inflow of income that people don't talk about, right? The wealthy folks don't talk about. Our friends don't talk about, whether either they don't know or they don't want to share it with us, right? But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I want to talk about number 6, no business mentorship.
Well, right now, before you go there, we need to take a commercial break.
Let's do a break.
We're going to take us a commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about number 6 and number 7. And then we're going to dig a little bit deeper about these wealth secrets. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And because now is the time of revealing. Now is the time of seeking. And now the time has come that you're going to find what you've been seeking for a very long time. And so Dr. Lydie and I are like this. When we figure out something that can really help change humanity in a positive way for the average person to get a leg up, the reason why we're doing this because we want you to know. We don't want you to say you didn't know.
Right.
Okay. And so we're going to take a commercial break. So hold down, go ahead and get your little snack or get you something to eat because it's going to be good. All right.
Water.
Are you ready to skyrocket your podcasting journey? Look no further than The Power of Podcasting by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. This book is not just any ordinary guide. It's a game changer that offers insider strategies, captivating content creation tips, proven techniques, and monetization secrets. But that's not all. When you purchase The Power of Podcasting, you also receive a complimentary bonus, Dr. Ramsey's sought-after podcast 30-video course valued at $999, absolutely free. It's no wonder this book is a #1 bestseller on Amazon and has been rated one of the top 10 best new podcasting books to read by Book Authority. Dr. Ramsey's expertise and practical advice have earned her acclaim in the industry. So, what are you waiting for? Take the leap and unlock your podcasting success today. Grab your copy of The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey on Amazon, or visit their website at ctrmedianetwork.com. A link will be provided in this episode's description. Your podcasting journey starts here.
Hello. I'm going to say I absolutely loved being on the Tina Ramsey show. Her ability to be able to ask questions, her ability to be able to showcase a female, her professionalism, the communication, the razzmatazz of the entire outlook here on the podcast was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm honestly going to give her a 10 out of 10 when it comes to her podcasting skills. And I can say this with a lot of backing because I've been on over 100 podcasts. And I'm telling you, she's A1 in my book for sure.
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with a friend, you already know, Dr. Lydie, and it was getting so good about what we can do as business owners. And she was sharing her riveting story of her life and why she fights so hard and why she herself is now pretty much taking up the advocacy of letting business owners like myself and all of you know about the biggest struggles, how that you can solve your problems, all these things that we need to know in order to be able to know what the wealthy people know, to be able to reach out and have access to resources and individuals and people that truly want to see you succeed. And how can we, as business owners, truly build a lasting legacy for our children, for our children's children, or even for maybe a cause that we want to support? How can we do that effectively as we strive, as we thrive, as we grow our businesses? And is it really realistic? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring back on Dr. Lydie because we're going to actually have this candid conversation about finally opening up the doors that the average everyday person doing extraordinary things, your mom, your dad, you yourself, going to be able to know what the wealthy people are doing. And be able to have the knowledge and the access to make the choice whether you want to move forward or whether you want to share this information or take action. And so, Dr. Lydie, let's talk a little bit about number 6, because before the commercial break, we was going into number 6, which most businesses, you was going over the 7 things that the biggest problems that small businesses experience. And we was on number 6 about no mentorship and having to figure it all out yourself. So along those lines, how can we move into what you were speaking about, knowing what the wealthy knows and the
Yeah, thank you for that. The wealthy I've known for a long time, something that has been kept from us intentionally. And that is that the dollar bills, and I wish I had a dollar bill, The dollar, you're talking about something, you're like, I wish I could hold it up. Okay, but you guys have a dollar bill very close by. Hold it up. Hold it up at home.
I don't
Right,
really.
right. I was like, wait. I can't reach my wallet. Okay, see, this is how powerful God is. Okay, my God said, look to the right, and there was my little tiny Louis Vuitton wallet. Dollar bill, y'all. Remember that song, dollar, dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Right. So the dollar bills are created by countries, and they're created by the banks, the main banks. They call them the central banks of countries, that they print out these dollar bills, and they have the value. Here's the $1. They have the value that the central bank, which the country owns. United States has its Federal Reserve, right? That's their main bank, and it has the value that they say that it has. There's nothing backing it. You know how you go get a loan and they're like, we need collateral. You got a house, you got a car, you got a condo. So we're going to give you this money if you sign over that if you don't repay us, we're going to take your asset, right? So there's no collateral for the dollar bill. It has the value that the country says that it has. And if you've been watching the news lately, you've been seeing a lot of talk that our president has signed off on us going digital with our currency, that they're not going to print. President Biden is like, we're not going to have the dollar bills anymore. We're going to have just digital, just like your credit card value. You got a credit, $2,500, you got a debit. It's going to work like that going forward. That's what they're working on. But here's the part they're not telling you. This dollar bill that we rely on so much, that we go get jobs, they pay us in a check that gives us dollar bills, right? Our whole society to a large extent runs on it. Back in 1978, when President Nixon, and you guys may remember President Nixon, I think I was a baby. I can't remember President Nixon, but I knew he had some issues, right? There were certain things that he did that people did not like. One of the things that he did is that he disconnected the dollar bill, the American dollar bill, from the gold reserve, which was in Fort Knox, right? And we always hear about Fort Knox. There's all this gold in Fort Knox, protected the military. That all in 1978, he says, we're not going to do that no more because it's too expensive. So we're not going to connect the dollar bill to the gold standard. And when he did that, the value of our dollar bill went to and that was back in 1978. We're not in 2023. And the value of the dollar bill has continued to decrease. And right now, it's worth about 3 cents. Right? So what does that do for us with this knowledge? Well, that means when you're getting paid in dollars, you're not getting the full value of the dollar. And you notice how things have gotten more expensive all of a sudden. We went grocery shopping today because we had run out of food. And just to buy the same amount of food we used to buy, let's say 2 months ago, we were like, what happened? This is what we're talking about, that the value of the money has decreased so much and will continue to decrease, right? That we can't purchase the things that we need. And when Dr. Tina and I talk about leaving something for the children, or even for retirement, by the time we get to retirement, there's going to be like no value in this thing, right? So what are we going to do? What do we leave for our kids? How do we enter retirement feeling secure? So the key is to go back to what Nixon had disconnectedness from, the gold standard, right? Gold and silver were always, if you know your Bible, the money of God. They didn't have dollar bills back then, right? This is paper. What is this? The value was in the precious, which is why they're called precious metals, because they're not everywhere. You got to dig for some precious metals. Deep in the heart of the earth is where God made them, right? To be the gold and the silver. And gold and silver, biblically, my folks that know the Bible had a sound, because when you put gold and silver together or you put it on a table, it clings.
Yeah.
It's the sound of money, right? And ironically, gold and silver to this day is called sound money. Ah! You're like, why is it called sound money? Because that's what God said it was. It makes sound when you hold God's money. So Dr. Tina and I were talking, and I said to her, I recently came across a company that faith-based that is focused on what we're talking about right now. This change that is happening on an international level, that the decreased value of our dollar. And I said, what this company is doing is giving us access to an understanding of what's happening. And so we know what to do next. What we need to do next is have gold and silver and not the dollar bill. And the question becomes, how do we even get this gold and silver? And why is it important? So Dr. Tina and I have been gifted access to providing training videos, and we're going to share some of them with you. So because we have to begin with our mindset, right? That's why I refer to myself as the money mindset revolutionary. We have to change what we were told, because 99.99% of it is untrue. Right? We are taught to be employees, go work for someone, get a check that has this fake money. It doesn't create assets for you. It doesn't create assets you can leave to your children. It doesn't create assets that can help you in retirement. It doesn't allow you to build a legacy. One of the things I began doing about 10 years ago is estate planning for families. Let's plan when you're not here, right? Who gets what? Who gets the house? Who gets the car? Who gets this? The problem with all those assets is that they go down in value, right? If you look at your car right now that you bought 10 years, I have a 20-year-old car, by the way, so I'll be the first to tell you. I've got a 2003 Infiniti, 2004 Infiniti, FX35. They don't even make them anymore, but everybody wants my car for parts. See that? Right? They don't make it, but they want my car. People stop me. I take it to the mechanic. They're like, we want to buy the car. I'm like, why? Well, we need parts for this. They don't make it like this anymore. I'm like, thank you. I'll keep it. But I want you to begin to shift our minds into more of a money flow mindset, that money comes to us. So therefore, what is really money? It's not the dollar. That all around you in the news, you figured out. What is it really? It's what President Nixon disconnected us from. That's the gold and silver that was in Fort Knox. Now we have access to it through a company that Dr. Tina and I have joined up with to say we can change our community, we can change our family, we can change our legacy, because we're going to focus on showing people how to reconnect to God's money again, how to get gold and silver. So, and you can buy it for as little as $1. You can buy $1. They call it fractional purchase. You don't have to buy a whole gold bullion that's as big as a table or something, right? You can buy enough that it's like, you can buy enough that it's as big as, here's my little, the little chip that goes in the computer so you can move your mouse. You can buy this much. A mic, this much. You can buy it for as little as $1. And what does that mean? It means it makes it affordable for everyday people. The value remains the same. The quantity, the amount of it, you can buy it in small pieces every week. Remember the layaway plan I talked to you about my mom used to do? We used to go visit her stuff. Right? You don't have to go visit things. The layaway plan, they send it to you. Federal Express, sealed, vacuum sealed, insured. So that begins to build out for your retirement, that you have a real asset that is recognized across the globe. No one says, is that real gold? They'll test it and they'll see this is pure, 0.999% purity. No one. And it's vacuum sealed with the certificates that says what it is. So that becomes for us something that was never available for our community before, of being able to access affordable, pure gold and silver to use in buying things, to use in our retirement, to use as creating a legacy for our children, that they have access to it. And you're probably thinking, Dr. Lydie, I can't walk around with a whole bunch of gold. Okay, I want to buy some milk, right? With this little gold piece. You're right, which is why they've created the first ever digital debit gold back card. So all that gold that you're buying is loaded on into its value on your debit gold back card. Now, it's not a gold card, which is, well, I should say it's the true gold card, right? By real gold. You know, most of us have a credit card that's gold, but it has the color gold. There's no real gold behind it. Again, the trickery, right? Because we know that spiritually gold has a connection. They're not going to give you real gold. They're going to give you that fake gold, that dollar, that fake gold looking credit card that doesn't have any real gold in it. This is the ability for our families to access, save, and allow others to inherit real gold and silver for as little as $1, if that's what every week, that layaway plan, right? Every week. So it makes it so affordable. What I love all of that. That means my assets are now secure. That means so much more. Oh, I forgot to tell you, if you're a small business owner, like Dr. Tina and I are, and I'm sure many, many, many of you are, healthcare, because they're so big, healthcare, as remember, American Express says that memberships has its privileges. Well, welcome to this company, because what they do is, because they're so big, they're in 8 different countries. They can offer healthcare to its members, right? The cheapest, bestest healthcare available, because they're a huge conglomerate and they got gold to back it up, right? So healthcare companies want to work with them, and that means better pricing for our healthcare. They also have available to us, not only on the healthcare side, which is super important, but for those of us that have an IRA or want to get an IRA, which is your individual retirement account for when you retire, all of their accounts are what? Gold backed. So it's not the dollar behind it, it's gold that's behind it. Another beautiful thing that I love about them, if you don't have an IRA, you're a small business owner, you want to create a 401k, usually it's really, really hard to do that, because they're a huge company. They're able to offer it as part of the membership, that if you want to start a 401k or move your existing 401k into a gold-backed 401k, part of the membership, right? And I'm like, why would they do this? People of faith, people of God. We do things for our community. In addition to all of those memberships, and they have traveling discounts. We're on the air, so I'll say I'm getting married in December. Dr. Tina and her family are coming. And I'm like, I need to get a hotel in Miami, group of rooms. Otherwise, those rates are cray, right? I call them, and I consider myself having a good relationship with a lot of these hotels because I travel so much. I said, hey, I need about 20 rooms, blah, 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 group rate. What we're getting the group rate. They were quoting me something like $280 a night. I'm like, what? People are coming for at least 3 days, right? For a wedding, $280 a night. So I said, wait a minute, let me try this company's travel portal. The same rooms at the same hotels. I'm talking Marriott, Margaritaville, Hyatt. Okay, these are big hotels on the beach, right? I mean, you come out the hotel, you got sand in your toes. Okay, the same. So they starting at $280 a night. How about $157 a night?
Wow.
With the membership of this. This is
powerful.
powerful. Right?
And life.
I'm like, and I'm just like, and life changing is Dr. Tina. And, I get so, when I am surprised by things, I get silent. Words disappear from me. You'll
Yes.
notice. Like, what did she say something?
Mhm.
Because my spirit is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So Dr. Tina and I decided that we can't keep this to ourselves. If we say we're people of faith, we have to share this with our community.
Mhm.
And that's what we want to do with you. You could join as a member where you just get all the benefits and more. There's a lot more than what I shared with you.
A whole lot more.
A whole
That's
lot.
a whole different episode.
On the benefits.
And the benefits alone.
But there's also an affiliate side to it, whereas like, listen, if you want to build a business around gold being the central point of what you're providing people, the purity of it, the security of it, the protection of it, the wealth of it, they allow you to do that for like a few $100s. When I say a few, I really mean few, 1, 2. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. You can, and they give you everything you need to start the business, the material, the training. People will get on the phone with you. They'll do a 3-way. They'll do a Zoom with you. I'm like, oh, I've never seen people invested in me doing well financially. People of faith. That's always the differential. People of God, they find each other, right? And they provide for each other. It's all biblical. So I said to Dr. Tina, we've got to share this.
Yeah.
Right? We've got to let CTR Media Network, lovers of CTR Media Network, know that there's another way for them to plan for their retirement. There's another way for them to plan for the safety and livelihood of their children, their grandchildren. And what that is, it's through this company. So Dr. Tina and I created a little, not a little, but we created a page where you can go and learn more. And included in that, I'm giving you as my gift, our gift really, because we're doing this together, the 7 golden questions that every business owner needs to know and ask their soon-to-be clients. These questions have been put together for me and with me over the 22 years of experience of what really converts a potential client to wanting to work with you. And a lot of it has to do with, are you asking them the right questions where they feel that they trust you, you know what you're talking about, you can do this with them, never for them, right? And I'm giving that to the CTR Media family. I've used it for 22 years. These are literally the questions I ask. And there's a sequence to them, and 1 through 7, and within they're like sub questions, right, as well. Dr. Lydie always got some sub questions going on, because what you're trying to do is connect with the potential client to let them know you understand, you are here, you will walk this with them, where you're not going to let them do it alone, or they'll stumble and perhaps get it wrong, and that'll delay them, disappoint them. You will be there with them. You will be their support structure until they can stand on their own. And so these questions that I'm gifting you is known only by a few very, 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 very elite group of people. But I thought it was time that we shared it within the CTR Media community. And so there's a link that you can just put in your contact information, name, email, and you can download it. There it is. It's the bit.ly Glorious Gold is the link that'll take you to download. On that same page, Dr. Tina and I have selected about 4 videos to give you the information that you should know about gold in our economy, gold as an income stream, gold as a mindset, right? How we're thinking about it. Gold for your family, gold for your retirement, gold for your legacy. So it's about 4 videos. And then we want to invite you to join us to build this out. We just started, and it's blowing our mind. I mean, just we're like 3 weeks, at the most 4 weeks ahead of you. And we're just absorbing the intel. And I am blown away, not just by what they're sharing for the everyday person like us. And I'm blown away not just by how they'll get on a phone call with you, right, to talk you through what you need for the next step. And I'm blown away that I get gold delivered to my house in a FedEx package. I gave my fiance one of their gold coins from ancient Rome, something, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't a lot, guys. I'm going to tell you, it was like smaller than my ring, maybe. He opened it, and it comes in a beautiful case. I need to, next time we come on, if we come on, we're going to show the case that the gold comes in. It's a beautiful hard case with the gold, the description of the purity of it, where it was minted, and the value of it. He saw it. He grabbed it. He kissed my forehead. He ran out that room and put it in a safe. And I'm like, you're going to put the gold that I gave you as a gift in the safety deposit box that, by the way, I don't have the key to. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, you gave me gold. No woman has ever given me gold before. So, of course, I'm going to lock it up. And I'm like, okay, this is what I live with, guys. So I'm just like, okay, honey. He's like, hey, this is great gold. I'm like, well, yeah. And his family's from Mexico, where there's a lot of gold, so he's very familiar. He's like, no, this is really good stuff. Yes, baby. So I hope that's the reaction of people in your family when you give them some gold as their gift, that they're like, oh my God, no one's given me gold before. But truthfully, we would love to build this with you, because what is the joy of just building it for our family when we have a global family at CTR Media Network that I think God would be very disappointed in us if we didn't share it, right? To show the way so others can follow. That's the word of our Father, right? It's not just for us. It's not a secret to be kept. It's a secret to be revealed. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you that see the beauty and the power of this, of us working it together. So Dr. Tina and I are here. We're excited. And it's going to be a glorious journey. Absolutely glorious.
Yes. So thank you so much for coming on today, sharing with us about these different opportunities that's available. I know for me personally, for people who've been following me for years, whether it's via CTR Media Network or the Tina Ramsey Show or any ventures that I have ever had, you guys know that I am very particular about what I share in regards to businesses. I mean, a lot of people come to me every single day wanting me to promote, share what they do, but I can't, with good faith, share something that I am not personally doing, that I have not personally experienced. And so this is definitely a game changer for everyday people, finally having the access to be able to buy like a layaway plan.
I have no shame. I got gold layaway.
About fractions of gold, because many people feel like you have a lot of money in order to do it. No, you have $5. You can buy you $5 worth and build up until you be able to buy the whole thing, or $1. You know, and so as we see the unfolding of what's going on with our economy, not even just in the United States, but on a worldwide scale, as we see the inflation of prices skyrocketing, as we see our hard-earned money not allowing us to have the access that we're accustomed to because of all this, what my mom and I call this shrinkflation. You're going to the grocery store to get a loaf of bread. The bread is not, it's like this now. It used to be like this. or the bottle used to be this big and now it's that big, but you're paying the same price or more. Good old shrinkflation. It's inflated, but you get a little bit. Okay. So listen, this is a way that we can equalize this situation and flip our money in order to work for us, and going back to how it was in the beginning. God's money, gold, that do not lose its value. Okay. Gold, precious metals do not lose its value. Money, as we can see, does, but not precious metals and things that are from the earth coming from God. Don't lose its value. And so for those of you who have ever been curious about this, for those of you who anything in this conversation pique your interest dealing with what she spoke about with business in general, or what we're speaking about now with building our family legacy, reach out to us via the 7. Just go get your free gift. The 7 golden secret questions that will change your business forever. And this was created for you in love.
Yeah.
Because many of you have been suffering in silence, hoping, wishing, and praying for a breakthrough. And I'm here to tell you, this is for you. Do not be discouraged. This is for you right now, in the now. If you're listening, if you're hearing this, this is not a coincidence. This is your moment. And this is the great equalizer. And I'm going to be honest, everybody's not going to do what they need to do. But are you going to do what you need to do in order to make sure that you're the breakthrough for you and your family? And this is a free gift. You have no excuses. Go get this free gift, pray about it, read it, and then put it into action. And this particular link will be in the description of this video. And also we'll be dropping it down in the comments a little bit later on. So because we know how people are, how you are. You know, I love you at the Tina Ram Show, my little lovelies. I love you, lovely. I love you, but I know sometimes you're a little lazy. So you want to click and do it. Okay. So we're going to let you click and go get your free gift. You don't have to type it in the search. You're going to click it and go ahead and get your freebie, which is a blessing. And then I want you to follow the steps and watch the videos. Yeah. Watch the videos. Those videos were curated and presented to you in such a way as a gift to help give you the knowledge, because I want you to understand. You're going to see 4 videos, and I need you to watch every single video in its entirety. Why? Is because we need the knowledge to get into your head. Because one thing about knowledge, once it gets into your head, no one can ever take that away from you. No one.
True.
It's power in knowledge. And I need you to take the time to invest in yourself, to invest in changing your mindset. Dr. Lydie is not called the Money Mindset Revolutionary for nothing. It starts in the mind first. So watch those videos and change your mindset, and then come and lock hands, lock arms, however you want to do it. You want to lock an arm, want to lock a hand, come on with us so that we can change the everyday person life. The wealth have been doing this for centuries, not decades, centuries. And now it's our turn. So come on in, and we will love to help share this information with you and grow together, not by yourself, grow together. This is your formal invitation from Dr. Lydie and myself. Okay, so you guys, for those of you who, y'all like to do this social media thing, you like to follow people. So this is a good person to follow. Now, she is a lawyer, so she's not on social media 24/7. But we're going to change that. Lord, Jesus, take the wheel.
Please take the wheel, Lord. Take Tina's wheel.
So make sure
I don't even have a wheel.
So make sure to follow on social media platforms. But ideally, we want you to just go to that page to watch the videos and also get that particular link. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in on today. And I also want to share with you, you've been hearing a lot about CTR Media Network. So if you are ready to share your story, if you're ready to share your purpose literally with the world, and you want to share it with our growing audience that is reaching 350 million households worldwide, we encourage you to either come on to be a podcaster on our network or content creator, or you can just be a business owner that would like to come and be interviewed on any of our podcasting shows. Or for certain businesses that would like to have a partnership with CTR Media Network, we do have sponsorships and partnerships available for businesses that align with our vision of making a positive impact in the world. For those of you who may not know what CTR Media Network is, CTR Media Network helps companies to grow by helping them diversify their visibility through innovative podcasting techniques and media. Our goal is to help you, the company, the business owner, entrepreneur, leverage your market share in social media, television, and podcasting. So we simply help you get your voice, your message, your products and services out literally with the world. And I also want to make mention about this. We have so many people that reach out and say, Tina, how can we support the Tina Ramsey Show? This is one way that you can support the Tina Ramsey Show by supporting, like, follow, sharing, and subscribing our episode. And if you would like to contribute by being a sponsor to our show or take advantage of any of our advertisement opportunities, you can. For those of you who may not know, our featured guest today, which is Dr. Lydie Louis, Esquire, Ph.D. She also has a show on the CTR Media Network that is going to be rebooted, going on into another amazing show, which is going to be all around this money mindset, this revolution. She has really taken this on and taken it by storm. So this is just a taste of the information that she's going to be bringing you in the future after she get married and do her honeymoon and come on back. She'll have some information to share with you guys in 2024 in regards to keeping your businesses going, how you can keep them thriving, also the leverage of gold and all the things that we were speaking about today, but just on an expanded scale where you can be able to be a part of her show and also support her show by becoming a sponsor as well in the very near future. So Dr. Lydie, I want to thank you so much for coming on and being a featured guest. We have some other things that's going to be coming your way that we will be announcing in 2024 in regards to the revolution that Dr. Lydie is preparing for all of us dealing with this money mindset revolution. And she is the revolutionary behind this, making sure, and I am in partnership with her so that we can bring all of this to you. And I just don't partner with anybody. Okay. No, ma'am. So I want you guys to be able to take advantage and understand why I decided to lock arms with Dr. Lydie, and how this is not only helping to change your life, but it's changing mine as well, for my family as well. And I want you to be able to have the opportunity to have the same opportunity that I have, as well as she has, and also your friends and family. This is a way out. Okay. This is a way, this is a leg up. This is an equalizer. And this is, I feel strongly, this is an answer to many of you guys' prayers. You've been suffering in silence for a long time, and you have been in this whirlwind of negativity, financial struggle, and anguish. And you've been passing that on as your legacy, not willingly, but that's just the hand that you've been dealt. But now we have a new deck of cards. We have a new deck of cards, and now you're able to see and understand the why, and most importantly, the how. So for all of you, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Tina Ramsey Show. And if no one told you this today, that you are worthy and that they love you, I want you to know that you are worthy and that I love you, my lovelies. And make sure to do what? Until the next time you see the Tina Ramsey Show, you what? Keep smiling. I'll see you guys next week with the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast with another impactful entrepreneur or individual who want to make a positive impact. It is indeed my pleasure to be hosting this show and to be speaking with individuals like Dr. Lydie. You guys have an amazing, safe weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later. Bye. CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? They have the support. They support us in all that we do. When we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it.